bit again.
What's up, guys? Aussie Sim Commentator here. How are you guys doing out there today? We are here for round number one of the Output Racing League Season 2 from Michigan International Speedway. I'm joined in commentary today by Brogan Picken Norris. How you doing today, Brogan?
Not too bad. Yourself, Corey?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, mate. So I'll let you give us the rundown on the goings on, and I'll catch up with you in a few moments.
Alrighty, thank you very much. We're just in practice at the moment. Everyone's just getting used to the car, track, conditions. And then we'll be going on to qualifying, hopefully, for about 5 minutes, which is 2 laps. And then it'll be a race for about 60 laps. At the moment we have Jaron Sanchez in the number 4 with a 39.19 on the top position. Stephen Turner just 3/100ths of a second off, which is a 39.22. And in third position will be Brian Stones in the number 18, which will be about 1/10 off. On screen we have, well, we had Aaron B. Can't really pronounce that. But now we have Trevor Harmon too. Now we have Brian Stones. Let's see if we can get on board with him. People have been saying that it's a little bit hard out there to gain some speed. Had a little bit of a drive out there before, maybe, and it is a little bit tricky out there, but once you get the hang of it, it's a fun time, let's just say. Now, we do not know if Tommy or Stokes is out there, as he is the last season champion in the trucks, which, well done to him. So on screen right now we have Trevor Harmon having a fight with the Dunkin' Donuts Toyota Camry. Seeing what they can figure out here. That's the Dunkin' Donuts machine of Steven Schmidt. Seeing if he can gain any more positions. So it looks like the number 13 got up into the wall. Got the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Putting down the hammer. It's the number 15 of Davey. Oh, just smacked into him, and on screen, Jared Uveus. Seeing if he can gain any more. Number 9 and Randy Baker coming up onto the 61 of Steven Schmidt. David Lamont coming up behind 51. Oh, the number 9 is 61. Getting side by side. Number 9 past 61. Even taking that middle line, get through the corner. Randy coming up. What line will he take through turn 3 and 4? The middle line. Coming down low. then gently coming back up. Jaron Sanchez in turn 3 and 4. This is only his outlap. Now he's getting onto a lap. See what he can do. There's Davey behind him, but he's not close enough to get in his draft. Didn't go as low as when he did his outlap. Coming up high. Coming into turn 1. Davey looks like he's getting into his slipstream right there, but contacted the wall unfortunately in the exit of turn 2. Brandon on screen out, now we're on. Davey Lemon coming into pit lane, as well as Jaron. Trevor and Steven coming out now. With 51 just coming around them. Now you have to stay below the Trevor again. Let's see what he can do. As I said before, you got to stay below the yellow line, otherwise you do get a black flag. Stop and go for about 15 seconds. So let's see which drivers actually stay below the yellow line. radio on the screen now. Taking the low line and the number 13 went into the wall. A lot of the guys are going from the top and trying to go right at the bottom. Some of them will go for about the mid to high line to conserve tyres. You go down low, you're using up quite a bit of your tyre. Draft will be a big thing in this as well, and not going into the wall obviously when you exit out of the corners, out of turn 2 and 4. A lot of guys are having trouble with turn 2. Oh, and we have a new time set. Bradley with a 39.06. Stephen M. Turner.
Alright guys, I am back. I hope that Mr. Brogan here has been treating you all nicely. So I'm just going to have a quick little squiz at the standings right now. Oh, I accidentally turned off the wrong thing on my sim racing apps. So far we got Bradley P. Wilson sitting up in the top spot, followed by Jaron with a close second. Steve Turner sitting in P3. Trevor Harmon in P4 with a 39.2. Brian Stones in P5. Davey Lamont in P6. Brandon Bennett in P7. Oh, we got some action here on track. Who is that? Someone absolutely upside down and all over the place on the back straight there. Alright guys, we're going to take this opportunity right now to go out and have a feel for the track ourselves. And I'm going to bring it to you exactly as I feel it. So I'll let you know how I feel in the car. I've done a few practice laps myself. As you can see, I'm down in P12 altogether because I'm not very quick. Alright, I'll admit that right now. And Brogan, since you're here, man, do you want to let everyone know what you see from the outside of the car with the line that I'm taking?
Oh, I certainly will.
So coming directly out of the pits, you know, 9 times out of 10, you might be able to hold it flat going through 3 and 4 here. As you can see, I washed up quite a fair bit there, got really close to the wall. The one good thing about Michigan with the B car here is that you can dive it in really deep into the corner. See how long I'm holding it full throttle? Now get on the brakes just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit.
Just enough to settle the car, obviously.
Yeah, just enough to settle the car, come out. We see some smoke over there coming into turn 3. 2 cars were there. Now turns 3 and 4 are a little bit more difficult. You've got to be a little bit more patient on the throttle just to get the right line, but there is a lot of room for error there coming out of 4. The one thing that we're going to be watching a lot of in this race will be the different lines that you can take. Michigan is a multiple groove track, and another thing is this wall right here. The exit of turn 2. We're expecting a lot of action to come out of there, especially on old tires.
And we'll also be trying to see who's going to be conserving tyres.
Yes, well, a green flag run is possible. So it'll all be about who's got the good enough tyres at the end of it. But if we don't get that green flag run, it's all going to be about who can make that short run pace, especially down low on the circuit. As you can see, I feathered the throttle a lot there, coming out of turn 2. And the pit road here is not very easy to get onto either, especially if you're wanting to try and run green flag stops. It's all about finding that perfect balance between, you know, making sure you're fast on entry of the corner, and then making sure you can get slowed up enough. As you can see, I just made it in time for the speed limit there. But I was pushing the absolute limit.
Start looking for your sign.
89 kilometers per hour is the speed limit in pit lane.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there you go,
Stop
guys.
inside.
That is a few lines. Alright, so we're going to have a look at some of the on-track action for Brady Tinnan in P5. Brian Stones in P6. Davey Lamont in P7. Brandon Bonnet in P8. We've got Brandon C. Miller coming out of P9 at the moment. Aaron, Psycho Boy, coming out of P10. Tommy Bordeaux out of P... Oh, he's P11. Aaron's in P10, yep. Myself in P12, but that doesn't matter. So that would make Robert Collins in the 2 car P12. Randy Baker in P13, Stephen Schmidt in P14, my commentating partner Brogan Picken Norris, who also went out and did a couple of laps of practice, is sitting in P16 currently, but we won't count him, so that makes Zach Lindgren in P15 there. And he actually rounds out the field at the moment. So it looks like we've got 15 runners so far for the opening race of this second season. So things should be getting pretty interesting. We've got about 13 minutes left here of the practice session before we head into qualifying. So what do you say, Brogan? Should we drag some poor unfortunate in here to have a speak with us?
Yes, definitely.
Alrighty, let's see. Who have we got sitting here in the Discord? Let's, you know what, let's bring in Jaren. It's always fun to talk to Jaren. Mr. Sanchez, how are you doing tonight?
Hey Corey, what's up, man?
Not much, man. We just dragged you over into the broadcast booth here. How's your car feeling out there? P2 currently?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I like the setup. I like the track. I like the car. Everything feels real good. I didn't think anyone would beat my time, but Bradley, no one's beating that time, so I'm happy where I am.
Well, that's good, man. So how does the different car feel? Because last season you guys were running the C trucks. This season you're running the B Xfinity cars. So what's the major differences that you've noticed between driving the two cars here on the brand new Michigan circuit?
You actually got to drive it a little bit. The car, it'll get loose on long runs, and it feels a little bit heavier, and you got to lift a little bit earlier. Obviously, adds more power. But the trucks, you know, that's super easy to drive. These are going to be a little bit harder, but still easy, still fun.
Oh, and as you were just talking there, we saw Bradley getting into someone coming out of turn 2 and spinning off to the infield there. How difficult is the exit of turn 2 to navigate, especially on older tires?
It's kind of tough if you try to go a lower line. If you enter in wide and get off the throttle and wait for the car to rotate and get on it and then cut down low on exit, then it's not too bad. But if you have a low entry, good luck.
Alright, no worries, Jaren. Thank you for your time, mate, and good luck out there.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, guys, that was Jaren Sanchez, the league owner. So let's just have a little scroll through the cars that are on track. We've got the 22 of Brandon C. Miller. We've got the 13 car there. 13 car of Steve Turner. We have the 15 car out there as well of Davey Lamont. We've got the 51 of Bradley Wilson. The 2 car is out there. As I bring up. So you guys will have to, I have to apologize to you guys. I'm only running single screen at the moment. So we've got Robert Collins in the 2 car out there as well. And then we have the 19 car there of Mr. Tinnen. We've also got the 41 car out there of Mr. Bennett. So I'm just going to drag these things back off of my screen so I can see what's going on properly. We're going to go and focus back on the crashes because who doesn't love a good crash? Oh, speaking of crashes, whammo goes Brandon Miller. There was a car stopped down low on the corner and he's just gone whammo straight into him. Hey Yako, how you doing? Good to see you showing your support for Brady there. Hopefully he does well. In fact, you know what? We're going to drag Brady into the conversation with us. Hey Brady, this is Corey and Brogan in the commentary booth. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Good to hear from y'all today. Excited week 1. Let's get this started.
Hell yeah, man, for sure. How's the track feeling for you today?
I was feeling pretty good with the University of Michigan Ford Mustang, you know, representing the home state, home track. Well, not mine personally, but, you know, I have a special connection. It feels good, like's been said before. Turn 2 is going to be difficult, it's going to be sketchy, but I have a feeling everyone's going to hold together well. I know you keep saying 2 to 4. I think there's only going to be 1 crash coming out of 2 tonight.
Ooh, only 1. That's a big prediction, man.
Hot take, hot take.
The reason that we dragged you into the commentary box with us is that you've actually got a little bit of fan support going on in the chat for the YouTube here.
Oh yeah?
Ayako Akiyama says,
Yeah,
"Go Brady."
Like I said, I'm a bit of a fan favorite. You know, I'm the scrappy underdog. I'm not gonna lead many laps, but maybe or hopefully our team can put us in a good position, and we can capitalize off others' mistakes, and we can come out here with top 5.
All right, man, that's great to hear. I hope all the best for you and good luck out there.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Alright guys, that was Brady. The fan favorite, the underdog, the man, the myth, the legend himself. As we focus on this intense battle here between the 57, the 85 and the 86. Looks like things are getting pretty close. I'm not sure if anyone's trying to do a long run practice or not. I mean, I would assume that they would be trying. Oh, everyone's trying to find time. As we see another car join the fray, the 15's just come out of the pits, right in front of this group. But he's on new, fresher tyres, so he should be pretty fast. As we see Aaron take the low line there. And now one's dropped off and these two are just absolutely... Whoa! That was a blink out. Really bad blink out for the 15. And that is Davey Lamont. Oh! Whammo! Both Davey and the 85 there. Just getting into the wall a little bit. As we see Davey come back out of the pits now.
And Aaron coming back in.
And now the camera has focused on the 22 car here. That is, of course, Brandon C. Miller, or as everyone affectionately knows him on Twitch, Get In My Creepy Van. Bit of a strange name, but he's a really good bloke. Alright, looks like we're only just a few minutes away now from the end of this practice session. About 4.5 according to our little positional ticker here on the bottom of the screen. Oh, top of the screen, sorry. Just having a quick little look, Brandon Miller is still floating down in P12, but he's only 3.5 tenths off the leading pace. As we still have about 3 minutes left in this practice session. It looks like the 86 and the 85 here are having a little bit of a battle. Coming out of turn 4. I'm not sure if that was a swipe in anger or not, but things are definitely looking like they're starting to heat up. This can only mean good things for when it comes time for the race to start. So it means that everyone is already completely ready to get going with the race. And now Zach Lindgren in the 85 car has just pipped Jaron for second place by 0.02 of a second. He's only 0.04 behind the time set by Bradley Wilson. So things are definitely very close over the top 3 there. As we come down to just under 40 seconds to go left in this practice session. And there is the checkered flag right there. That is the end of practice for Season 2, round number 1 of the Output Racing League. We're going to take a short break here and go to our promotional video, and we will see you when it's time to start grading up for the race. Alright, then we can talk freely. Alrighty guys, we are back for the start of this race. Thomas Harmon coming in with a 38.9 to take the pole. That is just absolutely incredible. He is a monster of a man. And as you can see, we've got Jaron Sanchez up there in 4th. Let's take a look at this field. Just look at them all nicely lined up along here. I'm so glad they did this for this new Michigan track. This just came out in the season 4 build for this year. As you see at the back there, you got Bradley, the early pace setter in practice. As we start to roll away now, we get ready to go green. So you've got Thomas Harmon off the front row in pole, Stephen M. Turner starting out of P2, Zach Lindgren out of P3, Jaron Sanchez out of P4, Davey Lamont out of P5, Austin Hakes out of P6, Tommy Bordeaux out of P7, Randy Baker out of P8, Brandon Bennett out of P9, Aaron coming out of P10, Brady Tinnen out of P11, Brian Stones out of 12, Stephen Schmidt out of 13, Brandon C. Miller out of 14, Robert Collins out of 15, and not registering a time coming out of P16 will be Bradley P. Wilson, and 17th will be Trevor Harmon. As they come around, they got 2 to go until green right now. G'day Zar, g'day Alexander, how are you guys doing out there in the chat today? Hakes and Bordeaux all the way. That's right, mate. That is right. Don't forget, guys, I am joined today by Brogan Pickett Norris. He will be my co-commentator for this event. And the pace car is on his way in. They got to be careful here. They can't go too far past the pace car. But the start will be on green. And there is the green flag. We are off and racing for Season 2 of the Output Racing League. The outside line got a very horrible start there. Everything just checked up behind the 13. And the 4 and the 28 were getting into each other behind him and got into him as well. You see there's a little bit of 3 wide action going on in the back here. As Bradley is making his way through the field a little bit already. He's already made it past Brandon Miller. And the 18 car there. He's taken the ultra low line through the apron on the front straight there. Now we've both driven this track a little bit, Brogan. That apron there is pretty bumpy, don't you reckon?
Yes, indeed it is, but it's also kind of hard to get down on it if you don't know how to drive the car correctly, of course.
Of course, mate, of course. Now we're watching this battle for the lead. It's almost a 3-way battle, but it looks like they're kind of fighting, but they're also looking like they're trying to just save their tires a little bit. As we see a pass for second place there, the 13 car has just driven underneath the 85 car, but it looks like a little bit of a stalemate as they come out of P4, and we have a caution. I'm not sure what that was for. Let's Well, there we go. There's a 19 car going for a spin. Let's back that up a little bit and get a better look at it. So we see we got Bradley back here in this battle, and Aaron. Looks like the 19's taken a very wide line. Aaron got a bit of a run and just couldn't quite get checked up in time for the 19. Gave him a little bit of a tap, and that sent him around. Oh, Bradley caught a little piece of it as well. He's got some nose damage there. But the 19 has been able to continue on. So that was a very early caution, and wasn't really expecting it to happen there. As we see some fakies into the pit. Some people choosing to pit early, some people choosing to stay out, but I wasn't expecting anyone to fake it. See the 85 and the 13 go for the pits there. They're looking for those fresh tyres already. So, looks like only 5 cars stayed out. Everyone else has gone into the pits. And this promotes a lot of people right up the order. Like the 86 and the 22, they were fighting towards the back there. Aaron and Brandon. And now they're up in 4th and 5th respectively. Alright, let's quickly go through the field here. Alright, so our top 3 there is Thomas Harmon, followed by Jaron. And we've got Brandon coming out of P3. Got the 86 of Aaron in P4. Got Brandon Miller out of P5. We've got the 18, the 85. Wow, the 85's made up a few spots after pitting there. The 13, the 29, the 51 there. The 28 and the 57. The 9 and the 81. The 2, the 19 who, yep, it doesn't look like he's got very much damage at all. And that's good to see. And then we have the 15 car of Davey Lamont rounding out the 17 drivers on track at the moment.
The 41's just come in for a pit right now too.
Oh, I just saw that. Just can't get the camera to focus on him. There we go. There he is, sitting in the pits. He must be going for that I want slightly better tyres than everyone else kind of a strategy. As we've got the 1 to go now, let's focus back in on the pack here. We got Thomas Harmon and Jaron Sanchez off the front row. Got Aaron and Brandon C. Miller coming out of 3 and 4 respectively now. So they've made up a bunch of positions. They must be vying for the Hard Charger award. Alright, the pace car makes his way into the pits. And it's an early jump. Oh, Brandon Miller has spun his tyres on the start there. Got a little bit of a tap from behind. That's checked up the entire outside line. But what a gap the leader has on the rest of the field right now. As we see, everyone's trying to sort themselves out to get out of there too wide, get a little bit more single file, but there's a lot of battles happening on in the back here. As we see the 18 dropping back, almost 4 wide coming out of turn 4 if you don't mind. And it's still going on. The back of the pack here is just absolutely hectic. Oh, and we see someone get into the wall there, and we got some action. Oh, it's the 15 car there. He's gone. And the 18 car as well. The 18 got into the wall, which started all that. Oh, that is unfortunate for both of them. So that was a very quick caution indeed. And that is our first one from turn 2. We knew that turn 2 was going to be a bit of a hot spot for action, and now we see why. So let's see if we can go back and have a look at that crash. Oh, the 18 hit a ton there. Let's just watch the 18 here. Boof! Oh, he got the bit of the wall that's angled as well. Oh. That was indeed a very hard hit.
Being close by with a hard hit into the infield wall.
As we see most of the leaders come into the pits now, including the 4 at front who didn't pit earlier. Got a few cars who stayed out on this one. I'm not surprised that they would attempt staying out at the moment. The 41, the 9, the 57, the 28 and the 13 have all stayed out. So that would make the 13 car the leader. There is bonus points for leading laps. Alright guys, I'm going to have to step away again. I'm going to set this to focus on the leader. And I'll leave you guys in the capable hands of Brogan until I get back.
Alrighty, it looks like the 85 got the jump over the 36 in the pits. Jaren got behind one position, unfortunately. Still pacing around. Looks like we have that. 2 to go. As we saw a fake side by side setup for these guys to be let loose. And Stephen with the fake coming into the pit lane is obviously very comfortable with the way his car is at the moment. Yes indeed, Alexander. Let's hope they team up and get to the front. But whatever happens out there, they still have a long season ahead of them. Pace car coming into pit lane, getting ready to set these guys off. And Steven with the jump has a massive gap now before anyone. Brady following along, gets up onto Tommy gets up above Austin there. Sorry for the confusion. And Steven's just having a huge lead at the moment, and it looks like chaos. So nearly 3 wide coming up to the start-finish line after that restart. 38 of Thomas is coming up the field. He's already up to 3rd. Trying to find a way through the 57 of Tommy here, but he is closely followed by Austin Hakes. Some guys are getting pretty close to the exit of turn 2. Another caution out. Now we can't see why on the main screen because of my partner Corey is away for a little bit. It was the 51 that got turned around. He took a little bit of a bump on the infield wall. Hopefully it wasn't too much damage for him and his pit crew to fix up right now. As most of everyone, most of the leaders absolutely dive into the pits. All but two of Thomas Harmon and Brandon Miller. Yeah, this should be a interesting restart as Stevens just caught up and he's now in third place. Closely behind with Tommy in fourth. Fifth is Austin. Zach in sixth. Jaron in seventh. Trevor in eighth. Aaron in ninth. Robert in 10th. Brandon in 11th. Brian in 12th. Randy in 13th. Stephen in 14th. Davey in 15th. Brady in 16th. And Bradley in 17th. Now don't forget, guys, this track is a bit hot. It's 40 degrees Celsius, so that's about 104 Fahrenheit. The air will be about 26 Celsius, and which is converted to about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So hopefully these boys ain't all hot in the car. Especially the guys with these black cars. They will be attracting the heat, obviously, from the tracker. Pace cars coming into the pits. And Thomas is oh. Has a huge lead. Steven got the jump to pass second place of Brandon, which has had a little bit of trouble probably putting that power down from the outside line. We come into turns 3 and 4. It's almost taking that low to mid line. Into turn 1 and 2, taking the mid line. He's either trying to conserve his tyres. Everyone getting really close to the turn 2 exit wall. Tommy is now in P3. Zach now in 4. Brandon's dropped down to P5. And we have a bit of a fight for P4 going on between Zach Lindgren and Austin Hatch. As we see the leaders come into turn 3 and 4. These guys are probably hoping that there's not going to be another caution out. Hopefully we can get a bit of a long run going on. So we're only into lap 25 out of 60. But it looks like it's a Chevy 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. Hopefully these guys will just work together. As Tommy has gotten up into P4 now in that Ford Mustang, closely followed by Jaron Sanchez in P5. battle for second is still going on between Steven Turner and Zach Lindgren. As Jaron Sanchez is just passed for a 4th place position. He's obviously feeling really comfortable with his car at the moment. And here we go. Zach trying to come on the inside of Bradley here for P2. Gets a dive, but he doesn't get the run out of 4 to get the pass, unfortunately. Looks like Zach's lost a lot of ground to Bradley, but Bradley is catching up to Thomas here. And here we go, Bradley coming in. Doesn't look like he's in too far. But is he gonna get a run down the back straight into 2-3 to get a run on the inside? Or is he just gonna play it safe and stay behind Thomas? With a closing in Zach. Oh, there was nearly contact between Zach and Bradley there. But it looks like Zach is up in the P2 right now. As they have just clocked over the halfway point of the race. Jaron Sanchez coming up behind them, saying, "I want a piece of this." He is saying, "I want to break up this Chevy 1, 2 and 3. 85 falling back a little bit, but it looks like he's getting a run on Thomas. Let's see if Zach can get a pass on the inside of Thomas. But Thomas is just obviously too strong at this stage of the race. Now is Zach gonna go try for the outside? No. Inside? No. Trying to come up high. He gets the door shut on him by Thomas.
Alright guys, I'm back. I hope you didn't miss me too much. I was listening to the broadcast while I was out and away, and it sounds like Brogan was doing a pretty good job. As we see this battle for the lead really hotting up, Jaren sitting there in 4th, trying to make moves down low. Couldn't quite get it pulled off though. As we see a possible change for the lead coming up now. The 85 goes high around Thomas, and it looks like he's got it pulled off. Maybe he's going to lose even more positions than that. He's dropped all the way back to 4th. Is he maybe doing a green flag pit stop?
It looks like it to me right here. Oh, he's got a little bit of damage.
You know what? He's not the only one coming into the pits at the moment. As we just have a quick little squiz behind him, we've also got the 41 coming into the pits. Nice stop in the box there. So he'll be going 4 tyres and fuel to the end, and so will the 41, I would imagine. As we come back on track for the main leading race at the moment, those cars that just pitted will be going a lap down. If not 2 laps down. But look at the fresh tyre advantage as we have the 85 of Zach now coming down to go for his green flag pit stop. Whoa, and a very wild entry in there behind him for Bradley. It's gone sideways into the pits there. He bags it up to get it straightened out, but he's going to lose a lot of time. That was a very wild entry there. As we go back to focus on the 13 car now. When I get the right buttons going. There he is. And this has also promoted Aaron up into P2, and Brian Stones in the 18 is up into P3. Looks like Jaren was another who went for an earlier pit stop too, as he gets his lap back, coming around to 13. And looks like the 13 is trying to get himself down onto pit road as well now. A little bit of traffic preventing him from getting down as early as he'd like. And I'm not sure, but he might have just copped a speeding penalty there. It looked like a very, very fast entry onto the pit road. And 20 laps to go on this race. And things have just all been shaken up, so we'll see how things shake out when we come back to some normality after everyone's made a stop. But at the moment, the 13 of Stephen Turner is still scored as your race leader. As we're trying to find the 38 car There he is. Next time around at the line, he should rotate back into the lead of the race. And in fact, he does indeed. And this brings Jaron Sanchez up into the second position. Tommy in the 57 car has come back up into P3. And Brandon Miller, the last car on the lead lap, is actually at threat of going a lap down here, with Thomas coming very quickly up behind him. And you see Brandon here is running the Output Racing League Aussie Sim Broadcaster paint scheme. And so, in fact, is Jaron Sanchez, coming out of P2. And myself and Brogan also run this paint scheme, and is it one other person as well? Or two? Two other people? So all up, we've got 6 cars that run this paint scheme, but only 2 of them are running in this league. The other 2 of us are commentators. The other 2 after that are just some really cool people. Right, we're going to quickly go have a little look through the field, see how everyone's running. We see Jaron Sanchez sitting here in the second place. We'll go to Tommy Bordeaux sitting in third. I'm just going to scroll through and have a quick little look at everyone's paint schemes pretty much, because there's some pretty cool ones out there. Like the Hardy's 29 here is Zach. Oh, that's not Zach. We've got someone who's a lap down. This must be Thomas, I believe. But this is a throwback to the old Days of Thunder movie. And here's Zach, running a fairly simple but still a very nice looking paint scheme. We'll just go and have a look at them all. And there's a lot of really nice paints, I will admit.
Yes, there is indeed.
I mean, the 15 car is running a Davey Allison throwback paint. That's Davey Lamont. Davey for Davey. The 41's running a Miller Lite paint scheme. Bradley is running just a nice, simple but elegant paint scheme. For the team that he's in. I'm not sure what his team is. I don't do too much research. There we got Aaron. He's running the Psycho Boy paint scheme. He's got his Super Penguin sitting on the hood. We've got the 18 car of Brian Stones running the Monster Energy paint scheme. That one's always a crowd pleaser. Got the 9 car running an old school looking Budweiser paint scheme. It's not very often you see a Budweiser paint scheme that is more cream than it is red. We'll go back to the 19 car here of Brady Tinnen. He's running a nice simple black and yellow paint scheme, but it's very effective. It looks very nice on track. I suspect it will look even better under lights. Then we've got the Dunkin' Donuts 61 car. That is Stephen Schmidt. It's very bright. And here's the Bradley Miller Output Racing League 22 paint scheme we were speaking about earlier. And 1 of 6 paint schemes, all of them with a slightly different color combination. As we focus back on the leaders now, Jaron is making a move to try and take the lead off of Thomas, coming out of turn 4 there. just as we made it through the field and get back to the leaders, Jaron,
Looks like he has done it.
he is scored as the leader of that lap. He just got ahead by 0.04 of a second. That is absolutely nothing. As they work on the back of Brandon Miller there. And we're going to go 3 wide just about underneath Brandon. Brandon's gotten into the wall. The three wide underneath the lap car there. And the 57 of Tommy is buying into this battle as well. Going down low on the apron. Makes his way back onto the track. Brandon Miller is still right there causing a havoc for these leaders. Thomas has just absolutely cut Brandon's nose off there. And that is a screenshot worthy moment right there. That almost 4 wide coming through turn 2. That was absolutely incredible. It looks like Jaron is trying to settle into this lead now. We've only got 10 laps to go when we get to the start-finish line. So all bets are off. It's time to get serious. And serious is what Jaron has just done. Got Brandon Miller still trying to cause headaches for these top 3 boys. Trying to go low to advance. Just to make it less harsh on himself. As we also got the 85 car buying into this battle as well. Brandon got really close to the back of him there. And we're going 2 wide for second place. Tommy wants the second place position off of Thomas. It all depends on who's burnt up their tyres the most. The 85 car's coming up now. He's making a move for third. And I think he's just gotten it off of Tommy. The leaderboard will refresh when they start crossing the start-finish line, but that is definitely third place there for the 85 car. Now, as I was saying before, this is the time when things start getting serious. This is when everyone is going to be driving their hardest and hope that they've saved enough tyres to last the rest of the distance. Jaron has built himself up a little bit of a gap now as these guys are fighting hard. That is second place as Thomas got into the wall at the entry of turn 1 there. Things are starting to get really willing in this race. Oh, and Thomas is in the wall again. That demotes him right back down into 4th place now. And he's going to be at threat of losing even more than that if he's got damage. This is such an aero-sensitive kind of a track. Very high speed, and you want to stick in the corner or else you're just going to keep sliding up and hitting the wall. As we go focus ahead now on 2nd and 3rd of Zach and Tommy. These guys still aren't done battling yet, with 6 laps to go when they get to the line. Looks like for the moment they have gotten themselves sorted out. But it's still anyone's guess as who's going to get P2 and whether Jaron can in fact hold on to his lead. He's only got 0.6 of a second over these two, and it looks like they might be slightly catching him a little bit. And I just saw something on the ticker board that was very interesting. The 13 car, one of the guys who crashed out early, is back up into P4. So that means that Thomas has just dropped off the face of the earth. He had to go for a pit stop, get his damage repaired. And this has almost certainly put him a lap down now. As Jaron comes around on his outside, but Thomas just pulls away. He says, nah, not today. You're not putting me a lap down right now. With 4 laps to go, can Jaron hold on to his half a second lead? It's all going to come down to the final lap. Oh, as we see a little bit of action going on in front of them. The 61 car, I think he might have just bounced off the wall there. He is running very high indeed, as Jaron's starting to catch up to the back of him now. Jaron just pulled in behind him and trying to get a little bit of the toe off the back of the 61 car. The 61 car is going very high, wide and handsome, that is for sure. And Jaron has put him in between himself and the second place car of Zach Lindgren. I'm sorry guys if I butcher these names. I do humbly apologize. As we see, the battle for the lead has heated up now. Jaron's lost a lot of time somewhere. The gap is now down to just barely over 1/10 of a second. As we're going to get the white flag next time by. Jaron goes high, Zach goes low. And it looks like we have a battle going on right now. Who can keep the speed up the most? Jaron has just lost out. Zach gets the position. I think Jaron got a little bit loose coming out of 3 and 4 there. And Zach has just gotten an absolutely commanding lead now. What has happened to...
Bradley has come, boy.
What's happened to Jaron? Jaron has fallen off the face of the earth. I don't know what's happened to Jaron here, folks, but he has fallen out of the top 3 altogether. As we keep focusing on Zach, he comes out of turn 4. The checkered flag is going to be waving for him. Season 2, race number 1 winner, Zach Lindgren. P2 will go to Stephen M. Turner. P3 to Tommy Bordeaux. As I'm trying to see on our little position ticker here where in fact... Actually no, P3 has gone to Davey Lamont. As we're trying to see, Jaron is back in the 8th. I'm not sure if that's where he'll stay, but... oh, there's Jaron. I think Jaron might have run out of fuel. I think that's it. Jaron's run out of fuel. He was cutting it too close. He is out of fuel, and it looks like the 61's going to give him a little bit of the old bump draft on the last lap to get across the line. Great show of sportsmanship right there. So now we know why Jaron was losing so much of his lead. He was fuel compromised. Yeah, that's right, Zar. They can run out of gas. And there he is. Last man to cross the line. As we see the 85 of Zach getting ready to perform his victory donuts. The 15 of Davy Lamont's there with him. I think we're just waiting on the 13 of Stephen M. Turner to show up. Oh, looks like we're not going to get burnouts at all. Alright guys, we're going to be right back, and we're going to be back with the Hard Charger Award. Alright guys, we're back with the Hard Charger Award presented to us by facebook.com/Speedway Meme 69, and our Hard Charger of this race goes to Bradley Wilson in the 51 car. Congratulations Bradley, you have won the Hard Charger Award for this race. And now let's get some of these post-race interviews done. Let's first bring up Jaron. Let's just hope that he's not busy.
Bro, I was like, Tommy's figuring this shit out.
Hello, Jaron.
Oh, shit. Hey, what's up?
Surprise. Mate, what happened there? It looked like you might have run out of fuel. Were you cutting it a bit close?
Yeah, well, the thing was, the previous caution, Thomas stayed out, and I didn't realize he did. So when we went green again on the long run, I was just trying to stay on the same strategy as Thomas because he was leading, but I didn't know that he was 3 laps shorter than me, so he was forced to pit. And so I just followed him in the pits, thinking I got to stay with Thomas because he usually has a strategy in mind and he's fast. So I didn't want to lose Thomas. Then I didn't realize that he had less fuel than I did. So, and then Tommy followed me, and I thought, okay, I am on the right strategy, and I was fast as hell, but I was low on fuel. So that the whole time I was leading, I was praying for a caution.
Yeah, well, it looked like you were trying to build yourself quite a gap once you got the lead. But we noticed towards the last couple of laps, just before you ran out, were you entering into a bit of a fuel-saving mode just to try and make it?
Sort of. I don't know. I was still pushing, but I was like, because I knew if I came in and pit, I wasn't going to finish well. So I was really I was trying to push the whole time because I was just praying for a caution. And my tires were starting to give, so that's probably why it looked like I was slowing down. But I knew it was too far gone. I knew I had to either push and just hope for a caution or run out of fuel. So that's what I did. I just pushed and ran out of fuel.
And we also noticed out on the last lap as well that you got a little bit of a bump draft to get across the line there from Steve-O. How's the camaraderie in this league? I mean, that is a great show of sportsmanship, if you ask me.
Yeah, we're all buds, man. That's what this league is about. We're all friends. Even the newcomers come in here, they make friends real quick, and everybody here, this is like their favorite league to look. It might not be the most competitive league and hardest league to win a race in. I mean, it's still hard to win a race, but it's not the most serious league. I guess what I'm trying to say. We're just all buds trying to have a good time, and we really do. Everyone looks forward to this race every week.
All right, man. Thank you for your time, and thank you for a great race.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
to you later on.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Alrighty, guys. That was Jaron. He very unlucky there to not make it into the win. So that's all we got for the interviews at the moment. We're gonna go back and have a look at a bit of the carnage now. So let's go back all the way to lap number 1, and we'll cycle through this carnage as we can. So here we go. First and foremost, the 13 checked up on the start, didn't get a very good one. The 4 and the 28 both got into each other and into him. Then we're coming up, and Aaron taking out the 19 car, probably accidentally. I don't think that would have been on purpose. Aaron, he's not a very, hateful driver. He doesn't really show much malice. And we've got the restart now. And it looks like that was when Brandon spun his tyres on the start in front of the 85 and the 29 cars. And now we see this is when the 18 hit the wall, brought out that first caution, taking the 15 with him into the inside wall there. That was a really hard hit from the 18, wasn't it, Brogan?
Yes, it was indeed.
Alright, now we've got the 51 car being spun by Jaron by the looks of things. This must have been the action that happened when I was gone. Alrighty, now we've got Brandon Miller underneath Jaron, 3 wide with the 29. It looked like there was a little bit of contact there between Jaron and Brandon. And now we've got the 28 car. He's gone up a bit too high, just gotten into the wall right in front of Jaron. Jaron was lucky to miss him there. That was very close. Now we're on the 9 car. He got a little bit wrong and got into the wall too. I suspect we're going to see a lot of these slight taps into the wall in this carnage report. There's a 29 getting into the wall. Oh, and got a bit loose. Got it pulled up. Just about. Can he save it? He's got it saved. Oh, back out onto the track. Still rolling. Well done. That is some wheel work if I ever see. Oh, geez. He got it loose again. He's not having a good time with that car at that point in time. And now we're on the 15 and the 86. Looked like there was just a little bit of a bump there. Then we got Bradley's entry into the pits. Wasn't this a wild one, ladies and gentlemen? He must have been on the absolute limit and then some. And now we're on the leading car when it hit the wall there. It lost all of its speed. As we cycled through the green flag stops, here's Jaron coming underneath the 29, and right behind them the 57 got that turn 2 wall. Now we've got the 28 car coming up, just tapping the wall as well. And we've got Brandon Miller going up and tapping the wall just above Jaron. We saw that one happen live because we were watching this battle. Then we got the 9 car, the Budweiser, getting it up into the wall in turn 3. Just carrying a little bit too much speed. And this was the big moment that changed the race. Another tap into the wall right there. And then the 29 car got in the wall again. The Dunkin' Donuts machine got right down low to avoid him. Not that it was needed. And that is the end of our little highlights package there. Alright guys, we're going to go to our league video here as we go and speak to our winning drivers. Just got to figure out who is who.
Little man is...
Little
Zach.
man is Zach. Alright. So let's bring Zach into the booth now. Hey Zach, this is the booth. Have you got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Awesome, man. That was a great race. Well done on the win, man.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so at what point did you realize that you could win this race?
At the very beginning. It wasn't at the very beginning. Just we didn't have any speed. I didn't feel like I could keep up with them. And then halfway through a green flag run, I found a line that actually worked. And I don't know. I think about halfway through that last stint, I was like, maybe if I can run at least consistent laps, then maybe I might have a shot. And then when I got up next to Jaron, I knew he came in a lap before me, so I figured if I could just keep him running hard instead of backing off trying to save fuel, keep him running hard, and so he wouldn't save fuel either, I could have a pretty good chance. And I don't know, I guess right there when I saw Jaron just kind of fade out of 4, I think that's where I was like, I can still win this.
Oh, that's good to hear. It's good to hear the excitement in your voice as well, but why no burnout?
I had no fuel. I couldn't get. I ran out pretty much crossing the line. I had to coast the whole way. The whole way around. If I could, I would, but I had no fuel to do anything.
Oh, that's alright, man. That's alright. No worries at all. But you know what, man? That was a great win. You picked the perfect strategy coming in the lap after Jaron, and congratulations. You are the first winner, Season 2 in the Output Racing League.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alright guys, that was race winner Zach there. We're gonna bring in Davey now. Hello Davey.
Hey buddy, how's it going?
Not too bad, mate. How was your race?
Got caught up in an early accident. Was forced to use our quick repair. And, just voiced into staying in the back and staying out of trouble. You know, teammate Zach and Bradley, we decided to hang out in the back and Zach was up front. And we had to play a fuel strategy card. You know, we saw what we could do with gas and how long we could make it on, and knew it would be really close when we pitted. And that we actually ran out of gas coming off 4. So. And then Tommy and all them boys start pulling down. And Jaron, I said, well, we got a shot at getting top 5, top 3 here. So.
Oh yeah, you definitely cutting it very close. You know, it was really good to see that the first race of the season come down to a battle of fuel. I mean, it made things really interesting.
Like I said, it was a great race. We'll book the buggies out there, everybody, get used to everybody driving on the same track. But I want to congratulate teammate, Zach Lindgren on a win, first time out, and Bradley's from top 5. So this year, hope we get some more wins going for us.
Oh, Bradley actually got our Hard Charger Award for this event. He started from 16th and made his way all the way up to 4th.
We all 3 pulled double duty tonight. We ran the NMNTS league tonight, so I don't know.
Well, that is quite incredible. Because I'm a part of that league. I just haven't run yet, but yeah, I can understand the kind of commitment that it takes to go from one league race where you got to do a certain amount of distance to come to another one straight after that, different car, different track, and what does it take mentally to prepare? To change from one lot of racing directly into another.
When you got good teammates like we do at WFO, I mean, you got one guy who can focus on one track and get used to how the car feels and have tire strategies and fuel strategies. So, seat time was a big part of it. Just sitting down and just cranking some laps out, logging some laps, and seeing how what's going to feel like. 50, 60, 80 laps to a green flag run, because you never know when you're going to have a long green flag run. You got to run out the whole way. So, a lot of patience. A lot of just give and take. A lot of give and take for sure.
All right, man. No worries. Thank you for your time. Congratulations on P3.
Good night.
All right, guys. That was P3. And now we're going to bring in our second place getter, Steve-O!
What's going on?
Not much, man. Congratulations, P2, man.
Yeah, it was a decent race. We started second. Felt like we had a second, third place car. I didn't think we were having anything with Thomas, but he ran out of fuel there at the end, and I was hoping Leader would run out of fuel too, but didn't have enough time to get up there.
So yeah, it looked like a pretty difficult race early on with those couple of early cautions. How was it from your perspective? Because we noticed that you were in the action a lot of the time.
Yeah, with the multi-grooves, it was a lot of fun up there towards the racing side by side with everybody. We were three wide, a couple guys giving plenty of room, racing hard, racing clean. It was a lot of fun, but it was definitely a difficult race. Car, I mean, it handled well, but it was a little tight, so you had to really feather the throttle, work the throttle. And I actually ended up getting the wall out of 2 after a pit stop, trying to catch back up back and killed my.
Yeah, well, it definitely looked like it was a hard charging kind of a race and a lot of fuel strategy there at the end. What was your strategy coming out of that last caution? Like, were you even thinking about the possibility of having to do a green flag stop?
The last caution, I knew we had to pit, but to be honest, I was just trying to keep up with Thomas because he was fast. And he pitted, and I still had 5 or 6 laps left of gas, and I was in a short pit, and I was like, I'll just run it to the end. That way I have fresher tires at the end that'll offset his fastness. Maybe I can get up there and run with him. It actually ended up working because I still had 2 or 3 laps left of gas, but I just ran out of it. If it would have been another 2 laps, I think I would have got the.
Well, that's good, man. Alright, we're going to close up the broadcast here, so thank you for your time, man. Congratulations, P2 in the first race of the season.
Alright, thanks, man.
Alright, guys, that is going to wrap it up here for us. On behalf of myself and Brogan Piggin Norris, we'd like to thank you all for coming out, and we will see you guys all next time for race number 2 of the Output Racing League.